now we're going to do something, we're going to actually do a little play around just a little bit. So I want you to go back to y equals, and I want you to clear both of those equations out. We all good? All right, so we are going to take, bless you. There. I want you to do your x squared. So if you type in your x, actually let me take that back. Type in your x, and we're going to do the cubic, because x squared is pretty obvious. To do your cubic function, so you type in your x. This caret button, I think I've mentioned this to you before, it's right under the clear button. That's your exponent button. So do x caret 3. Okay, x caret 3 tells you that you're doing the cubic function. And then go to graph.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. So it graphs it for you. But now what we're going to do is we're going to translate this function. Okay? So when we did substitution before, we just took a value and substituted it into our main. So I need to write something on the board. So we used to do, we have right now f of x equals x cubed. Okay? So now, and this is going to be on your EOC. They're going to ask you, what does f of x plus 2 look like? And you're going to say, oh my gosh, I can't remember what that looks like. Your calculator is going to save you. Okay, so instead of writing x in the x spot, you're going to write x plus 2. So you're now going to write an equation to accommodate for this function. You're going to type in there y equals x plus 2 cubed. And so this is your new x, right? It's telling you that this is your new value of x. So instead of writing that x, you're going to write this value in the x place. Does that make sense? So it's going to translate this for you. Where do you think that graph is going to go? What do you think is going to happen to our graph?
2 places to the right.
So Kelly says 2 places to the right.
Instead of 0, it's the middle.
So you're thinking instead of here, it's going to go over there?
No,
it's going to go up to.
I think it's going to go to the right.
So you're going to go, you're saying it's going to go to the right. So Kelly's saying it's going to go over here. Chris is saying it's going to go over here. And Leanne is saying it's going to go up. Okay? So we're going to test it. Okay, because that's the question that they're going to ask you. What's going to happen? How is this equation?
He had already done it. He guessed.
Okay. So when you have that question on your test, don't try, let's use technology. We've got technology, right? So in order to do that, instead of, we have this equation here, so type it in. They're going to ask you, based on this, what's going to happen if you have that? So now let's type that into our y equals.
Instead of
No, you want to keep both of them. Because you have to compare one over the other, and you're not going to know what one looks like if you don't have the first one. So in your y equals, our second entry is going to be parenthesis x plus 3, close parenthesis. Oh, did I say 2? Okay, sorry. Yeah, well, I did too much. X plus 2. This is really hard doing it with a mouse looking sideways. All right, so you have your x plus 2 cubed, because now our function input is no longer just x, it's x plus 2. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our graph, and it's going to give both of them. So you may not recognize which one is which. That's when you go to trace. So now you can find, this was the one you started with. So what did the other one do compared to that one? It shifted to the left. Did you have a question? Is that?
No.
Oh, okay. It looked like you were raising your hand or trying to. All right, so it shifted to the left. All right? So if we put x minus 2 in there, what is that going to do for it?
Shift it to the right.
It's going to shift it to the right. How do we make it shift up and down?
You have to put in a y-intercept.
Yeah, so we're going to put in a y-intercept. So instead of just x cubed, we're going to put x cubed plus 4. And when you graph that, you'll get one that has been shifted up. And again, if you can trace it, if you put your trace on, you can figure out which is which. The